Hi, my name is Steve Schwartzberg, and I'm running for Congress in the 5th District as a Bernie Sanders supporter. I'm a lifelong social democrat who believes it's time for a moral as well as a political revolution in this country. My background and my training is as a diplomatic historian, Yale PhD 1996, fancy academic credential, a scholar of the history of American foreign relations who believes it's possible to draw from our common past to build a shared future. My favorite revolutionary among the framers of our Constitution and the founders of our country is the Pennsylvania lawyer James Wilson. Years before Thomas Jefferson, Wilson had written that all men are by nature equal and free. We, the American people, according to Wilson, are sovereigns without subjects. This was and is a succinct way of stating the most basic ideal of the American Revolution. It took the Civil War and the Civil Rights Movement to even begin to make this true for African Americans. It took the suffragists and the women's rights movement to even begin to make this true for women. It took the organization of trade unions and the labor movement to even begin to keep this true for working people, to prevent the power of the state from being used on behalf of corporations to make subjects of workers. And in our own day, it will take a moral and political revolution to keep the 1% from making subjects of the rest of us and destroying the promise of the American Revolution. And it will take repentance on the part of the American people to cease attempting to rule over the Indian nations as if they were in any way our subjects or subject to our jurisdiction. It is time for us to decide as a people what kind of people we want to be, whether we want to be a hope-filled people based on social democratic principles, a nation that is prosperous, just, ecologically sound, and self-governed by we the people, or whether we want to proceed on the path that we're currently on. That's the choice before us. If you're willing to help me fight for a social democratic country, I would ask you to consider voting for me. Thank you.